Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we got another good one for you. And I remember to wear the blazer. I didn't wear that in yesterday's video. We've got an interesting plug-and-play mashup team and some pretty big numbers over here. This is Cdunn's video on his defensive roster lineup. If you're interested in having your defense featured, contact me, links in the description. We grade on 5 different criteria here. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Team number 1 is a Heroes for Hire. Now, traditionally, I like to have the Heroes for Hire buried at the back of your roster. Everybody's kind of wondering, you know, how big is the H for H team? Whose Infinity Watch is going to go into it? Whose Omega Red is big enough to handle it? So hiding this at the back makes it a little bit more frustrating. Any of your best teams should always be hidden in the back of your lineup. However, you've got starting with Luke Cage, healer, striker, healer, skirmisher, raider. That's okay. I do like Iron Fist as a skirmisher, getting out extra vulnerables on the field. The more damage this team can put out, the better off you are. And one more vulnerable, adding that 10% increased damage or allowing Colleen Wing to double tap off of it is really going to help. Yeah, I also like Luke Cage as a fortifier. I'm not sure if I got that right in yesterday's video. I'm probably going to get some corrections on that one. But I do like him as a fortifier instead of a healer. He is too slow to pass out those heals. Otherwise, it's a pretty decent team. Yeah, otherwise it's pretty good. So move it to the back, and I wouldn't actually adjust that ISO. It's too late in the game to switch these. It's not worth it, not worth your investment. But if you got a bunch of green ions laying around like none of us do, then go ahead and swap that out. Team number 2 is a Secret Avengers with Kestrel. Now, if you're going to run this team on defense, I think you should get Fury out of there. He adds value to this team on offense for sure, but on defense, his summons are a liability. They pop off early, and it gives food for symbiotes or AxMen to come in here and really get going on this team. So I think you should swap him out. But being he's 7 red stars and you have him fully invested, that would be a total waste. So the best thing you could do for this team is take them off of defense and put them on offense. Otherwise, your placement is okay. I think moving Kestrel a little more in the center and Maria Hill to the outside or Sharon Carter to the outside is a better bet as they're softer targets. I know I go after Sharon Carter early on in the match, and so maybe moving her to the outside would be better. Let's see, striker, healer, skirmisher. You have 2 strikers and 1 skirmisher, so Fury should probably be a raider on this team. He does bounce around a lot. He has some crit features built into his kit. He has a lot of synergy with the raider ISO, but you're at 2.2 on that ISO, so it is too expensive for you to change at this time. I'm going to give you a B- for this. I really think the best thing you can do for this team is to use him on offense. Team number 3 is a Black Order. You got healer on Ma. Why does everybody do that? Everybody Ma doesn't have any healing in his kit. He needs to be a skirmisher 100%. That's a big mistake right there. As far as the rest of the ISOs on the team, skirmisher striker combo on these 2 is fantastic. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. You can make Cull and Thanos just about anything you want, and you're going to find some sort of value in that play. Your placement is okay. I do prefer Thanos next to Cull Obsidian so that when there's splash damage onto Thanos, it causes Cull Obsidian to retaliate more often and you get more value. Especially making him a striker, trying to bring up his damage potential like that, you're going to get a lot more value out of that. So a lot of tweaks you could probably do there. I'm going to give you a B- for that team. Team number 4 is a Astonishing X-Men team. Why do you have Iceman as a raider? Why are people putting him as a raider all of a sudden? I'm seeing this a lot. I think Iceman 100% needs to be a skirmisher for the focus boost. I think everybody on the team should be skirmisher except for Bishop. I do like running my Jubilee as a striker, so I don't dock people for that. But I do think that, kind of splitting hairs here, technically the team works better with her as a skirmisher also. So you've got her as a skirmisher. You got Kitty as a healer. She does have healing built into her kit, but again, this team, make them all skirmishers but Bishop. Yeah, and your placement is really weird. Yeah, you want... So what you can do is you could put Bishop in the middle with Kitty and Iceman on either side, and the idea is they get damaged and they drop below certain thresholds, which gives Beast more turn meter and speeds this team up that much faster. Otherwise, you could put Bishop to the outside adjacent to Iceman, and then Kitty. That way, if Iceman dies, he does get a revive. Kitty's there as a little further buffer, and then your most important tunes, which is Beast and Jubilee, are safe off to the side away from the taunt. So yeah, I don't like those ISOs. I definitely do not like that placement. It is a great team. It should be used on offense right now, but it is a formidable defense. You have a substantial investment in there. And yeah, I think I'm going to give you a B+ for this team. And that's pretty optimistic, I think. Okay, team number 5 is the Mercs with Shuri and Red Guardian. Okay, I don't know what kind of value Red Guardian is adding in here. I think that an X-Force team could still come in here and probably do some damage, although it might be tricky. You might not be able to land the ability block on Taskmaster. Of course, at this power level, X-Force might not be a good choice either. You have a substantial investment in your Merc minions. So it's down to Skilletary. And then, so that's why you got Red Guardian in there. Okay, Skilletary's not going to be able to choose their targets early on either. Although, I think Punisher is probably going to double tap Red Guardian right off the map. So it still may not work. The worst thing is, though, is that you have Taskmaster as a skirmisher and no strikers on this team at all. Everybody's healer. So I think you should make Taskmaster a striker. And I think you should make 1 or 2, your Merc minions probably, make them skirmishers, so that he'll go in and assist when they lay out a vulnerable, and he could you know, copy the effect. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm having an off day today. Sure, he's doing plenty of healing for this team. Making them all healers is kind of a waste. So I don't like these ISOs. The placement has functionality to it. You've got Deflects going over Red Guardian and Taskmaster. You might consider, though, swapping places with Taskmaster and Riot Guard so that your Merc Lieutenant gets some of those Deflects also. I just don't like the all healer thing going on. I do like Taskmaster as a skirmisher, but I like him on those traditional builds where it's a bunch of striker mercs and Taskmaster as a skirmisher getting lots of triple hit combos, really elevating the damage. You're going for a very defensive posture, and this team was traditionally built to be offensive, blowing things up out of the gate. So, yeah, it could work, though. It is new. I like new. I give points for new, but I'm not sure if it's executed effectively. Let's go B- for that team. This is a Marauder build. You're replacing Emma with Ultron, and that's okay. Might work. It's something to do. Wow, you kind of overinvested in your Mystique. She's not that great in my opinion, but she is going to steal lots of positive effects. So build up your Strife a little bit more and make him a fortifier instead of healer. He's got barrier built into his kit and he uses it really well. So if you build him up and they can't get through to get to Ultron, you're going to be doing pretty good. I do think that a Shadowlands team is going to come through and crush this no matter what. However, it's something to do. This day and age, we're just kind of filling defensive slots, right? Yeah, let's see. Skirmisher on him, that's crazy. He's a Raider, 100%. 100% he should be Raider. She should be a Skirmisher. Those ISOs are big time wrong. And I don't like the healer. So, yeah, let's change the ISOs. The placement is fine. But change the ISOs. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to give you a B for that team. Change those ISOs for sure. 7. This is your plug and play bonanza right here. These are all plug and play tunes, every single one of them, and they're all stuck together. You have 4 strikers and no one putting out vulnerable. Now Doc Ock is a healer 100% of the time. I think that Ghost should be a striker. I think that Doom should be a striker. I think that there's a case to be made to changing Silver Surfer. I like him as a striker, but you could play him as a Raider. He has splash damage, AoE attacks that could throw out some vulnerables. So you could make him a Raider. A Black Bolt's a striker too. The problem is that a lot of the times we get these plug and play tunes and they're powerful and you want to run them as strikers, and they got these awesome basics and these basic assist combos and stuff, so you want to run them as a striker. And so when you throw all of them in the mix together, you get a team like this, which is all strikers and no vulnerables on the field to really bring out the benefit of the striker iso 8. Alternatively, I think that your placement is suboptimal. You don't have anybody protecting Doom. Like, there's no deflects on him. There's no taunts early on. People are just going to go in and ability block Doom. You know, like, if you could lay out an ability block with Zemo and spread it with Hela to the rest of this team's done. It's just done. It's a big, powerful team. People aren't going to mess around with it, so you will draw in a good team, but I think there's a lot of other things you could be doing way better than this. And being we're breaking up some of your previous teams, you should definitely break up this one, use the pieces to make a better hybrid. I'm just gonna give you a C for this. It's big, it's powerful, you've got the correct ISOs on the correct people, but as a team, they just don't have a lot of synergy. It just doesn't function very well. Team number 8 is the Wave 1 Avengers. You got your tanks in the wrong position. I don't like Striker on Thor. I like him better as a Raider. Otherwise, yeah, we're okay. So trade places. Position's all screwed up. Let's go Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Thor, and then Hawkeye in that order. Yeah, Thor as a Raider is better. He's doing AoEs. You've only got one person putting out vulnerables, and he's usually assisting Black Widow, so she's going to soak up those vulnerables. So all you're getting is a base stat boost of damage on Thor, and that's cool. A lot of people do that. It's not a horrible mistake. But if you really want to do well on this team, I think you should make him into a Raider. That way everybody's getting a 10% increased damage on those vulnerables that he's going to be laying out. But the biggest thing is your placement. Adjust that placement. This is a C on that. Team number 9 is the OG Sinister Six without Doc Ock. Honestly, with as big a Doc Ock as you have, you should probably take him and some of these people and go use them on offense. You're pretty close to having a really big Sinister Six team. Don't use Doc Ock on this team. I tell people all the time, using Doc Ock on this team is a waste of Ock. These guys are too squishy, they die too easy, they're too slow, they're too old. Just too much. So use Doc Ock in a better place. But I like this. I like what you're doing here. It's a big team. They do have some synergy. They do use negative effects, so you do have to kind of watch out for that. So let's go over the ISOs, though. Striker is okay on him. Raider I like there. Skirmisher I like there. Raider I like there. And Raider is okay on that, although I prefer Skirmisher. Yeah, this is fine. It's just a junk filler team. You've invested in some of the better tunes, I guess. I mean, Vulture's okay. He's got some niche uses, but everybody on this team is so old anymore. Make him war ready, and I can give you an A for this. For right now, it's a B+. Yeah, you got a little bit lopsided power levels, but that might actually be to your advantage. You got high red stars on Green Goblin, too. You can bring him up a little bit. All right, number 10. Okay, we got, this is what we see in Arena all the time, well, minus Coulson and Minerva. You got Emma with the Eternals. Emma gives them a little bit more speed, so they're probably just, somebody's going to come into this with their Eternals and Emma and Zemo, or Emma and Loki, or Emma and Cable, or Emma and Zemo Red Skull, or something like that. That'll give them a tiny bit of speed edge over this team, and they'll blow them out of the water. So whoever you put with this team, make sure you understand that they're going to get nuked right off the bat. I don't know if your Minerva or your Coulson are big enough to survive an opposing Kestrel or an opposing Icarus's ult. Of course, he doesn't get the bonus because it's not Arena, it's War. But I still think he's going to just blow him right off the mat. I think what you should do is consider putting like Loki and Cable in here and just make them go with a speed team, or make them use their Infinity Watch to beat this. You know, just go for the full speed team as fast as you can go. The other thing that we were talking about earlier in chat was Red Skull and Zemo. Zemo gives Red Skull speed up on spawn or something like that, makes him go faster, and then Red Skull gives 30% turn meter to all allies on his opening move. So that's a pretty fast team too. Your choice. I think you should just speed them up as much as possible and get them to use their Infinity Watch on this team. Okay. This has been Cdunn's Defense Up review. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit subscribe for more videos. I try to put out at least a handful of videos every week. And remember, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too. Thanks.